we're talking about.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see. Hey Annie, how you doing? Oh, right here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. There we go.
Bruh, you got to show me how to do that right there. Because I
All
don't
right.
know.
So on your screen, do you have a refresh button, a microphone, a magic stick, and another button?
Yeah.
Okay, where it look like a little person with a background.
Yeah.
Click on that,
Oh.
and then scroll through your pictures, and whatever your pictures that you have, you can put that up.
Oh. See, they done messed up now.
Still gravy. I said, what's happening then?
And you hear him back there, goddamn thirsty as
Yeah.
hell, drinking that water.
All right. Delta's in the building.
It
Okay,
didn't
let me.
happen. It didn't work. What the hell going on?
You gotta hit done when you done when you find the picture you want.
I did. Okay, I'm gonna try it again because it didn't do it. I got the green screen behind me though.
Yeah, you got the green screen.
Oh, okay, I know what it was. There we go.
Okay, okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing there, sir. I see you.
There we go. Yep.
All right.
Delta in the building. What up, Delta?
YouTube. I can't record this conversation. I guess I can. I'll figure out a way.
The thumbnail is us outside.
Yeah, that was you outside. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That was the only one I can think of at the moment. I was scanning through. You know.
Right. Well, it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? So, well, we're gonna give him a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? A few minutes.
Yeah,
Send
yeah,
out
yeah.
the invites,
Definitely,
then we'll
definitely,
get
definitely,
started.
definitely.
Said has a
Okay.
new toy now. Absolutely, I know how to do it now. Y'all done messed up.
All right. Two people ain't hit the like button yet. Please hit the like button.
Smash that like button for us, y'all, if y'all don't mind. It goes a long way. Anna, you right though. I got a new toy. I done figured it out. Well, I done asked and he showed me. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, all you got to do is ask me. I definitely tell you.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey, it's all good.
I would never leave a homie out there misguided.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Let me send out some of these. What's going on, everybody? How was y'all weekend? You know, we know it's Monday. We just want to say thank y'all for coming in.
Thank you for coming in.
We appreciate that.
Thank you for all the love. Come on, please don't leave the room. Stay in the room with us. Just stay in
Smash
the
the
room
like
with
button
us.
for us too, real quick.
If you don't know how, just exit the chat, hit the X on the chat, and then hit the like button. And then if you gotta go, you gotta go. But
Right. But stay up in here. Let us know who you are. Y'all have a different background every time. Yeah, we appreciate that, y'all.
We're trying to be interesting, folks.
Right, exactly. You know, try to bring something different, you know, each time. That's what it's about, y'all. You know, navigating through these YouTube streets. Tonight, though, you know, as usual, great conversation. We ready to get off into it. We got maybe one more minute. We got 1 minute to go, and then we're gonna start the conversation. Y'all be sure to smash the like button. Tell your friends about it. Share with one person. The Belly Brothers, what's up? What's going on with your Belly Brothers?
Okay, what's
Hey,
happening?
sub to us, bro, and we definitely sub back.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a good conversation tonight. Definitely want to hear your opinion. See what you think about it. Belly Brothers, where y'all from? Let us know where y'all from too.
What's your zodiac? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I didn't mean it.
He said, what's your
I
zodiac?
didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I'm joking. Ha ha. Jokes on me. Jokes on me. Hardy har. Jokes on me, and we're still alive.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we can get it started, and we still can send out the invites though. But yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Just This.
I'm your boy said, aka the dude in the top right pick right there. You know what I'm talking about?
And we are
Thought from your
Thoughts from
boy
Your Boy
podcast.
podcast. And we
So,
always say, let's talk.
what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we talking about misguided trauma.
Misguided trauma. This should be interesting.
Very interesting.
Misguided trauma. Okay, okay. So first, before we get started, because I'm gonna let you kick it off, but before we get started,
Okay.
um, big shout out to the SIP podcast. We were just on there. We were guests on their podcast. So big shout out to all of them on there. And if you get a chance, check them out. It's S.I.P. Sex, Intimacy, Power. They talk about a little bit of everything, y'all. Really good podcast. So y'all be sure to check them out. All right, bro. We're gonna let you kick this conversation off though.
All right. So to start off with misguided trauma, I want y'all to think about the things people said to y'all when y'all were kids, such as uncles, grandparents, mother, father, maybe older siblings, people that you knew out in the streets that you played with. And tell me, has someone ever given you advice that you didn't know at the time was bad advice? So on the SIP podcast we just left off, she said most men are taught that there's a million women out there. There's more women than men, so you can always find another one. Um, and I realized if you were taught that that is your trauma when you grow older, when you get in relationships and they don't work, and you feel like that. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be hurt behind a relationship or whatever, but you're not supposed to feel like people are expendable. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you meet good people.
Okay. True.
So and like said eloquently said, most women are taught that as long as they stay beautiful or whatever, there'll always be a man to like them or something like that. And I remember a woman saying to me, several women actually said their mother or their aunt told them, as long as you got a vagina, you can always have money. So when a woman grows up and she doesn't have money, it's because either she's falling on hard times or she's not using her vajayjay.
Hmm.
What do you think about that, sir?
Uh, about that particular part right there.
Well, all of it, all
Okay.
misguided trauma.
Well,
Period.
I think for that statement right there, right? Some people refuse to use their JJ for money. Like they're not gonna sell it. They don't feel like, what I'm saying, times will never
Right,
get that bad to where they'll do
right.
that, you know. So for some people that's just not an option at all. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I respect the hell out of that. Um do I respect someone who get out there and sell themselves? If that's
Hold on.
Go ahead. If that's their
Continue. I'll be
decision,
right back.
then that's their decision, to sell themselves. Maybe they see that as the only way to do it, right? And you can't do nothing but respect that type of person as well. You know, it's a thin line though. So when you have misguided trauma, that's to me misguided trauma. And I know he's not here, y'all. So I'm speaking to everyone in the chat right now. Misguided trauma is dangerous. It can be very dangerous because, especially depending on the type of trauma it is. If someone seen someone get pum when they were younger, you know what I'm saying, and the trauma from that, now maybe they're they what am I thinking of? Quick on the trigger now because of what they seen. You know what I'm saying? They had some trauma. They didn't know how to deal with it. As a result, they dealt with it the best way that they know how, or what they thought was right. And that was to pum first and ask questions later. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe now they no longer like guns at all on any level, but now maybe if they grow up to have a wife, she feel like that he's not protecting them adequately. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can have misguided trauma and it ends up very bad. It ends up very, very bad. and there's numerous other examples that we can give of misguided trauma, like he was talking about before, how men and women grow up. If a man grow up thinking every time you get into a disagreement with a woman, just cancel and go get another one. What kind of trauma did he go through, or the person that's telling him this went through? And now this young man is growing up like this his whole life, and he's not developing any type of communication skills, any type of problem solving abilities. He's just, oh well, I got an issue with this one. Let me go and get rid of him. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and get me another one. I'm gonna get me another one. I'm gonna get me another one. It's like that's not how you deal with things, because
No.
it's not like any relationship is gonna be perfect. You're gonna deal with stuff in all relationships. So you really need to try to um, uh,
Stick it out
um,
with a good one.
adapt some type of communication skills. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that's what you need, because that's what it's gonna take. But once again, you have misguided trauma. So you don't know, or the person telling you this had misguided trauma, and now they're putting all of their
Pass it on. Yeah.
trauma on you, and you
Mm-hmm.
grow up not knowing any better, thinking this is the way to go. And who's to say if you don't pass up on your future wife, or the best thing that
Or
ever happened to
husband.
you because of y'all had one little argument? You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Or she didn't see something your way, and that was like, oh well, I was taught to get rid of him and go to the next one. And that's just someone else's unhealed trauma, and they dumped it on you and told you that, and now you think that's the way to go. You know what I'm saying? And the cycle just repeats itself. And
Yeah.
and once again, there's many ways that we can go with this. Delta said sometimes our trauma is internalized deeply, and we can suppress it without addressing the issue. So it
Yeah.
results in the symptoms, not the root.
Hmm.
That's true.
That's
Suppression
yeah.
suppression is powerful. A lot of people can suppress.
No.
You have to,
Right.
you're gonna have
It
to,
is what it is. Yeah.
you know, one way or another, or when you by yourself, and you thinking the thoughts that you think, these things are gonna come up because it was never ever taken care of when it first happened, or at any point up to that point. Um, Trauma is real. A lot of us in the Black community, uh, we don't know how to properly deal with trauma, right? We really don't. There's still a stigma on stigma,
Hit the
right?
refresh.
Inside joke,
There you go. You moving again. I
huh?
was gonna say you weren't moving for a second. I was gonna say hit the refresh button.
I mean, you and your phone, you ain't paying me no
I am
attention. It's
paying you
okay.
attention. God, I'm sending
You
out
all on your
invites
phone,
still.
man. Me too. Well, now I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until you talk to. Then I'm gonna send mine out. But I'm just messing with you, bro, because you said that. But it's a stigma, and I kept saying that word. That was an inside joke. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to the homie though. Big shout out. But yeah, I mean, it's a stigma on therapy. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And getting help for some trauma that you may have. We all,
The
some
ones
of
you don't
us,
even know you
and it's
have.
getting better,
The
huh?
ones you don't even know you have.
Well, yeah, because you internalized it so long, it suppressed it for so long that
Mm-hmm.
it festered and became something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once
Yeah.
again, you put it off to the back burner for so long that you forgot that you had this until it comes up again in real life.
Yeah.
And these are the things that can happen.
So,
Ruby P, what's up, Ruby? Everett, how you doing, Everett? What the hell? Oh,
all right.
you gonna lick me on my own. She said, Everett said they're hearing static.
Oh,
What
I
up,
wonder
Carl?
if that's
What
me
up
or
with you?
you.
I don't know. Um,
You got a good connection?
yeah, I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know. We'll see.
Is the static coming from me or coming from him, Everett?
Y'all let us know. Question:
Question:
Can
Can
trauma
trauma
be
be
passed
passed
down?
down? Yes.
I think so.
Some
I
trauma
think
can.
so.
Yes. Not
Yes.
all trauma, but some trauma. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
because some trauma comes out in a way that you handle and manage things. Some trauma comes out like that instead of just being trauma that you tell someone, or a wrong ideology that you tell someone. Sometimes trauma is in the way you handle things, the way you manage things can be your trauma. And therefore, when your child sees it, because they see you passed it on to them.
And okay, so one quick example of right off the top of my head would be the hatred of police for some
Yes,
people.
yes,
And even though they themselves have never been through any type of ordeal with the police, they brother, they sister, they auntie, they cousin, they mom or dad, you see what I'm saying? And they done heard about it 50, 11 times. Now they can't stand the police.
right.
You see what I'm saying? They see the police as the ultimate enemy because the trauma of everybody around them dealing with the police has been bled into them. So now they feel the same way about the police, you know what I'm saying, as whoever it was telling them about it. Yeah, I believe that it can be passed down generationally.
It
When you
can.
think about slavery, which I know that's an open wound for all of us, but slavery, think about that first generation of people who was not enslaved, right? The last
Okay.
generation to be slaves, and then the very next one. You don't think that first generation of free people went through the same, almost the same thing, just not quite as bad?
Yeah.
They had a lot of generational stuff, and still, you see what I'm saying? Go so on and so on and so on. It's yeah, it's generational. A lot of this stuff can definitely be generational trauma.
Yeah. Those two definitely are police and slavery. Even though,
Yeah, you have to deal with the trauma before they can proceed. For
even
some people,
though,
they don't do that. For some people, they
I mean,
they
some
they
people don't know
ingest
how.
the trauma and then just
Yeah, they
put it
don't.
away.
Yeah, they don't know how.
And okay, I use myself. I remember, and y'all heard me say this a gazillion times. I had a gun pointed right here,
Mm,
like touching, touching, touching. And the second those police was gone, I forgot about it. Whoa, excuse me, my phone almost fell. But the second I put it in the back of my mind. Did that stop me from thinking about it? No, because here it is 20 something years later, I still remember. Have I thought about it? Like, I thought about it the next day.
mm,
But in that moment, I compartmentalized that shit.
yeah.
We walked them back to the dorm. We went back to the dorm and called another ride because our homie had just crashed his, and we still went to the party.
Mm,
As I tell y'all in the story. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when trauma happened, we may not know how to deal with it. At that time, I didn't know how to deal with it. It was just like, okay, well, it happened. I told you a lot of
right.
times when things happen to me, I just always had this mindset of typical things that happen to say. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my
Mm,
mindset. And that's the mindset of a lot of people when things happen to them. You know what I'm saying? So they don't say nothing. They don't tell nobody. They don't know how to deal with it properly because the way I dealt with that situation was not the proper way to deal with it.
no,
And I know that
no.
now, but at the time, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, all right, because I've had run-ins with the police before. You know what I'm saying? So this situation, it was just like, okay, another run-in, you know what I'm saying, with the police. And we were clearly the victim. We were accident victims. We were car accident victims. And they still, you know what I'm saying, treated us like that. But
Y'all were
that's just
Tupac
how
and
it goes.
Suge,
It all
huh?
depends on what you're gonna do with your trauma.
Y'all were Tupac and Suge, huh?
Huh?
I said y'all were Tupac and Suge, huh? When Tupac got shot,
Well,
and they're like, freeze! I'm bleeding. I'm over here, I'm bleeding.
I mean, but it was really one of those things where it was traumatic. I
Yeah,
told you one of the girls who was with us started screaming and would not stop screaming. But that was because as a young girl, she seen somebody get pum pum.
yeah.
You see what I'm
That'll
saying?
do it. That'll
So
do
now
it.
here it is, she's in college and she see this, it replayed in her head. And she
Right.
just started screaming, hollering, hollering, screaming, and just wouldn't stop.
Mm,
So, trauma. It
yeah,
happens.
yeah. I mean, I guess the only way to deal with trauma is to face it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you face it with a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, psychologist, you gotta face it some kind of way. You gotta admit to yourself that it happened. You gotta look at the possibility and the conclusion of what could have happened, and you gotta try to find understanding if that's what you need from it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand why it happened to you. Because I remember coming up, I used to wonder why I was still here and my partner was gone. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it my fault? It was something else I could have did. Because like I said, when the shots went off, my instinct was to hit the brake and duck. It wasn't to step on the gas and pull off. So, I used to question many nights, am I the reason that he gone because I stepped on the brake instead of pulling off on the gas.
Right. And yeah, and that's because that's the trauma though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And with trauma comes that wave of guilt. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And
Survivor's
or
remorse.
or the term now is survivor's remorse.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because I made it, or I made it out of the hood, or I just made it out
Mm-hmm.
of that situation and they didn't. Why?
Right.
Why
Yep.
me? Why was I the one to be spared? Why was I the one I think about that a lot. I told you I grew up in New York. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I got sent here at a certain age. And looking at some of the things that they had to go through versus some of the things I had to go through, I say the same thing. Damn, why was I the one? You know what I'm saying? Because it was three of us that came down here. We came down here as a 3-pack. And I was the one who stayed and the other two went back. And I'm thinking, why me?
Right.
Why me? You know what I'm saying? I think about that. So yeah, survivor's remorse is real.
Yeah,
That
it's a
should be
real
real.
thing.
Yeah. And especially the example that you gave when you in the hood and somebody gets shot and you right
Yeah.
there and you
Yeah.
you start thinking, well, damn, if I would have did this, then this, and it's like you can't do that to
Your mind,
yourself.
yeah,
That's not fair to
your mind go
yourself.
down a deep rabbit hole. You can't even come up with enough. You know what I'm saying? You can't come up with enough answers to the endless number of possibilities.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Um, Carl, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? We will do official unboxing when I get it. Everett said both. It might be my phone. Okay. You have to deal with the trauma before they can proceed, and it takes time in the heat of the moment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It takes time. And in the
Yeah.
heat of the moment, you just never know what's gonna happen. Like there's no way that the car would have accelerated faster than the bullet. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it's
No,
like
it
it's
wasn't.
stuff like that, but you can't help but think about those things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And because it happened to you, you was there, you was in the moment. So you like, damn,
So
what could I have done?
I was telling somebody the story, and they were like, "Well, what I would have did, I would have stepped on the gas and pulled off."
See,
And I'm
see,
like, the gun was this close to my face. Like, what are you talking about? The gun was right here. The pew pew was right here. Like,
and there's nothing that you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? And we all know, just like they say, with wild animals don't run because it triggers an instinct.
mm-hmm.
If somebody got a pum pum that close to you, and you pull off in the car, what you think they gonna do? They gonna shoot.
Yeah,
It's instinctual. You know what I'm talking about? Because if they don't went that far to pull the strap and it's on you and all this other stuff, you see what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
easy for people to say what they would have did. Oh, I would have been Superman and punched the gun out of his hand. Like, listen, that's in the movies.
yeah.
It's in the
This ain't no
movies.
goddamn movie, done.
You know, but it says it ain't a movie, dog. Right.
No, it ain't
It's
a movie,
it's
dog.
this
He
is
was
real
shooting at me
life.
like movie
So
directors.
all right, for real. Yep. Yep. But I mean, and these are all traumas that we have to go through. Now,
Right,
going
right.
back, hold on. I had a situation with a gun. I just sat down in the chair and closed my eyes. Wow. See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It get real. It get real, y'all. A
I
lot of
had one.
people have
I
situations.
wasn't outside. I mean, I was outside. I wasn't in the house, but I had one of those times. He was across the street. He was talking, and I had mine in my hand, and he shot. And I shut my eyes, and I just stood there, and no bullet hit me. And then I was mad. Yeah, and we're not gonna finish that story. We're just gonna leave it right there.
Absolutely. Because trauma, misguided trauma too, right? So
Hmm.
let's say your mama's struggling, you know what I'm saying? A single parent household, mom
Hmm.
and daddy divorced, split up, whatever the case may be. We ain't blaming nobody, right? We
Right,
ain't
right.
blaming
No
nobody. We just
blame, no
saying
blame.
single parent household, right? Maybe it's not enough to eat in the house. You know what I'm saying? And a young man, he out there hustling in the streets trying to help out. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? He has trauma from having nights of not eating. And then here come the dudes on the block, the local gang members, who say, hey, come get down with us. You know what I'm saying? You come hustle with us, you can make you some money. You can make you some bread. You know what I'm saying? Now you ain't gonna get rich, but it'd be enough for you and your family to eat. You see what I'm
right,
saying? And
right,
now because of the trauma he had to face of having nights where they ain't have nothing to eat and they
right.
had to cry themselves to sleep. You see what I'm saying? Now it was misguided, and now he's a gangbanger out there, and he hitting the corner hustling
Hard.
hard. You see what I'm saying? Because it was trauma, and maybe that gang member seen that and was like, "Oh shit, got me one," or
I don't know if that's
not
what I
got
don't
one in
know if
that
that.
sense, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, okay, let me bring him into the fold. You know what
Because
I'm saying?
I
Because
remember the dude that brought me into the game. Like I said, I had two different relatives. My Crip relative was always telling me don't do it, but he was so cool. You know what I'm saying? He was cool. Motherfuckers liked him. He was cool. He was a likable guy. But my
he was
blood
seducing.
relative, my blood relative was just that nigga was crazy. Every time I saw that dude, he was hitting the nose. I was like, damn, like I know this can't be what it's about. And then that one night came and motherfucker was like, shit, we finna go. You know what I'm saying? So red is what I forced into, I guess. I mean, not to say that I don't love it. I love it now. But at the moment I wasn't jumping up and down like a cheerleader, like, yo, please, pick me, pick me, pick me. No, no, that wasn't how that went. So, you know, what's happening, Deuce to Deuce? Yeah, that is a while.
Yeah. Deuce to Deuce in the building. What's up? What up, fam? Um, yeah, but you know what? That's just how it
It
goes.
does.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had trauma. I've had opportunities to join gangs. You know what I'm saying? And just didn't. No reason. I can't sit here and be like, oh, because I want to be a better. No, no, that's not it, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. There, no reason. I just never. You know how you just told the story, and they told you, hey, it's time. We finna go. Every time that situation came up, I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
But
you're older too, though. You're older too.
what I mean, younger, high school.
No, I'm talking about like I was like 8.
Oh well, no. See,
Yeah, I got put in at 8.
right,
I did my first real crime at 10, but yeah, I was younger. I was influenceable
right.
or
And
fearful,
when I
whichever
was
one
at
you
that
want to
age,
use.
I was in New York, and
Right,
gangs wasn't prevalent. It was all about
right,
the block you lived on. You
right,
know what I'm saying? And like we had our own little clique, our own little posse. You know what I'm saying, or whatever they called it back then. But it wasn't, Blood, Crip, GD, Vice Lord, whatever. It was
right.
just hypothetically 19th Street, 20th Street. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Sun Hill Road Gang. You know what I'm saying? It was more of that thing. So, it was the same concept. But once I moved here and gangs was a real thing, that's what I was gonna say earlier. You think the other side cared if I was in or not? When they got to shooting at them, I'm with them. So in they head, you one of them. They
Right.
don't know that, oh damn, this dude right here, he ain't no blood. Wait a minute. Well, damn
Mm-hmm.
it, you around all of them every damn day. So in
Yeah.
their eyes, yes, the hell you is.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? They not matter of fact, they're not gonna ask you or check to see first. They just gonna
A
do
lot of
what they
times they
do.
don't. A lot of times they
Right.
don't.
If I mean I'm saying in a drive-by situation or whatever, they're not
Oh
saying,
no, no,
oh,
no, they don't.
shoot all
Hold
of
on,
them
hold
and
on,
then
hold on,
stop
hold on.
because he
Hold on.
right there,
Start the
he
car.
not.
Start the car. Start the car. Hold
Yeah,
on. Who is and who ain't? They don't do
right.
that. No, they don't do that.
Nah, it don't go down like that.
Now
So,
you walking down the street and it's like 12 of their ass. They gonna ask. you have a chance to be like no or yes. Yes could get you stumped out, and no could you might get a safe pass. They just tell you take
Maybe.
off whatever you got on. Maybe.
Right. Right.
But shit.
It's just
Nowadays,
one, but
everybody wanna go famous, be hood famous.
hmm,
So, a nigga pull out a goddamn motherfucker pull out a camera and tell his man to slap the shit out your ass just to see what you gonna do on camera. So, they be like, oh shit, he a punk ass, blah 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 on camera. And then when you come back later that night and you air that bitch out, ain't nobody saying, maybe we shouldn't have did that. Maybe we shouldn't have went that far with it. Maybe we shouldn't have put it on camera. Ain't nobody saying that. But the mama's gonna be crying, auntie's gonna be like, these damn animals, they don't want to just stop killing each other.
it all goes back to trauma. And this it's like, oh, they unalive my partner, so now you got
Mm-hmm.
to unalive their partner, and then they got
Mm-hmm.
to unalive your partner, then you got to you
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? And it's a never ending cycle of trauma, creating trauma, PTSD, almost the same as military men, because you see
It's
in
the exact
action, you
same.
see in
It's the exact
combat.
same. It's the exact
Yeah.
same.
And it's like this shit is real, but in the
But
hood
it bothers
you
everybody.
don't know how to deal with that. You don't even know that
Everything
you got
bothers
it.
people differently.
It does. It
Because
does.
it's a dude that I think I follow on our channel, on this channel, who's a Army Ranger, the sniper or whatever, call himself Deaf. Got long dreads, brown skin, like he look like Pat a little bit.
Oh,
You
I
know
know
what
you're
I'm talking
talking
about?
about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he talks about the stuff he do as if it don't never like none of that phases him.
Mm-hmm.
But PTSD it bothers different people differently. Because I know other war vets or military vets that went to combat and they paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Loud noise make their ass freak out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just little shit that keep their ass paranoid, keep their ass wired up. And then you got other motherfuckers calm as day, like, yeah. 2 weeks ago I just dropped a bomb on somebody. Didn't mean a goddamn thing to me. What the fuck?
Hmm.
What? Yeah, I threw a
Yeah.
grenade in the man's house and he blew up. What? So, yeah.
And you have some people who can do that because they've been trained to do that. And what I mean, and I don't mean unalive somebody, I mean they've been trained to to psych themselves
Hmm.
out, to just
Yeah.
click off.
Yeah.
Boom. And
Yeah.
to tell themselves, I'm just doing my job. They've been
Or they don't,
trained.
or those are not people. Those are just ops. Like young boys do. That's what young boys do in the street. They say it's an op. Like an op is not a real person.
Right, right. And because they've been indoctrinated by their big homies or whoever the case may be, other people with trauma, that hey, yo, that ain't a person. Do whatever you want. It's okay. They're gonna do it to you. They're gonna do it to you. You know what I'm saying? So now you don't mind doing whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
You can condition yourself. Exposure therapy. Yes,
Yep.
you can condition yourself. Yes, absolutely. To not care, to click out,
Definitely.
to not even
Yep.
see what it is that you're doing. You know how not the sniper that he was talking about, but it was another sniper who said he always aimed for people's chest. He never aimed for the head because he didn't want to see that. He didn't want those memories. You see what I'm saying? So he aimed for the chest. It's like he knew he was gonna have some type of blowback from this, some trauma
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
years, after he retired or something like that, and now he can't sleep because he's, as a matter of fact, this uh uh Babcock, ain't that his name? Charles or whatever, Hatchcock, Babcock, whatever his name is. He like one of the greatest snipers in military history. The old white dude. I think he passed away now though.
Not
Anyway,
the one that American Sniper was about, was it?
no, that's Chris. That's Chris somebody. This
Okay.
guy, I can't think of his name, but
So he got a show on YouTube,
no,
or
no,
he
no,
just
no,
did
no, no.
interviews.
Yeah, through all the interviews and through all the, when they ask people who was one of the best, I want to say Army snipers, this guy
Okay.
name always come up because he had killed like 13 people with 13 shots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Using the Starlight scope in like World War One or Vietnam War or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Okay.
all from muscle memory, all from training, right? But
Hmm.
point being, he said the thing that gives him trauma is the one guy who got away.
Mm.
That's the trauma that he got. because it seemed like the guy was looking right at him eye to eye, even though he was almost a mile away. But it was the way the dude turned, because the first shot missed, and the dude turned and looked, and he said if he felt like the dude was freaking looking at him almost a mile away now, and he was like, that's the face that haunts him. Because in his head, he's thinking, how many other people did that guy go and kill? Because I missed the shot on him.
A lot.
Right.
Shit.
So, but it brings up the fact that
that's a fucked up memory. Ooh, that's a fucked up memory.
That's the one that bothers him, because he was like, that was his mission to get that guy. He took the shot, missed, dude turned like that and got away. The only person he said to ever get away from him, ever. And that's the one that haunts him, because he still can see his face. And he got to wonder, how many people did that dude go kill? But let me transition into this. What up, Dashi? Appreciate you tuning in.
What's going on, Dashi?
I can't remember who said it, but he was like, who said that guy's a bad guy? That's where
I think that Black Sniper said that. I think the Black Sniper said that.
Okay, yeah. Who said?
Because I heard him say that recently the other day. I watched some of the video.
And that's
he was like we're programmed to feel like they're bad people, but what if we're the bad people going over there fucking with them? That was deep.
Yeah. So I just thought that was pretty cool. Annie said she was just about to say that. Yeah, because that opens up a whole other conversation, right? Of trauma. I'm talking about trauma.
It does.
Because like you just said, we going over there and doing all type of stuff to people, causing generational trauma, and they wonder why people hate Americans and all this other stuff. And the same way, if one of their snipers killed an American, now we hate them.
Right.
But once again, who says that they're the bad guys?
Right.
A higher up, a suit, somebody who really just trying to get some oil money, you know what I'm saying, or control over gold or some other resource that this country has.
Some other resource, right.
Yeah, and all they're trying to do is protect it. And I'm not taking up for them. I'm just simply playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but I guess that's the way we look at it with Bloods and Crips. You know, like we say they're ops, but most of the time, fuck that. Yeah, most of the time, the shit be over the stupidest shit. Like wars in California and LA, wars in LA get started over the most trivial shit. It can be one blood, but fucking with a Crip girl, and her brother was super cripping or extra out, and that nigga jumped his ass. Went back and told the homies he got jumped by 5, 6 people and one know it too. And now they shooting over there. So they come back shooting over here. Then it might be either a set that we friends with or a fucking set we beefing with. They get shot at everything we did it. Now you got more than one out shooting at your ass. So yeah. And then when you think about it in hindsight, like, who's really wrong? If they kill my man, am I wrong if I kill that man? But then you're not looking at was your set wrong when they killed their man first, or whoever started the shit.
Right.
So, you know?
Right. And that's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying right there, bro. Because both sides feel like the other side is wrong. They wrong. They did this. You know, he killed my homie. And well, what the hell did your homie do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And but honestly, bro, it be so long ago that nobody really knows. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time these gangs and stuff, hell, even countries be at war and don't even know originally why you at war. Originally.
Right.
You know
because the people that started the original trauma are gone. Dead in the sea.
Gone. Been gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Y'all still fighting and you don't even know why. Right.
Right. You know, making up a gang, y'all. This ain't no real the 42 Street Boys. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the 8th Street guys, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know why. They just know that forever in the day we ain't never liked them. But why? I don't know. We just don't. Well, that ain't good enough to go over there and air out the whole street. You see what I'm saying? Like you said, everybody who was originally a part of this is gone as far as the drama and the beef.
Right.
So now none of y'all know why y'all doing this. None of them on that side know why. Well, guess what? Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to come to some type of truce. Y'all don't have to be kumbaya with each other, but it comes time out for it. It's too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's misguided trauma as well. That's
Yeah,
misguided trauma
at its
because it's
best.
just being passed along from person to
Hmm.
person to person to person to person to do this. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, we ain't doing nothing but making our side, meaning this side, less populated.
That's
We
it.
doing the job for them at a
Self
rapid rate.
genocide. Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Hey,
KKK put out a message about that years ago. They said we
yeah,
don't got to kill black people no more. Black people kill black people.
yes,
You're like, what? You can get the thinking about it.
yes.
You're like, yeah, yeah.
Now all races kill all races, but damn, we doing it
In
real
record breaking numbers.
big. Yeah,
Shit. Yeah.
absolutely. And it's like, come on, y'all. This that misguided trauma shit, bro. You tapped on something right there because everybody deal with it. Everybody can recall a situation in their life that was traumatic. You know what I'm saying? And based off of that, they done changed their life or made a decision that they normally wouldn't make, or maybe they even told a relative who look up to them, you know what I'm saying, some bullshit based off that
Right.
trauma that they had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that is literally you're literally misguiding somebody else because of some
Hmm.
bullshit you went through because you didn't know how to handle it. Or you yourself grew up and instead of being on this path, you don't went this way because you
Right.
didn't know how to deal with that trauma that you were facing. Hell, for some people, they don't even know that it's trauma. They thinking that, oh, this is just life.
Yeah.
No, it's not life. You got issues going on, but you could get help for it.
There is help.
There is help. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, misguided trauma, man, we can talk about this forever, bro. I think
But you
this is
know
a
what's
good
funny?
topic.
What's funny is how people deal with misguided trauma. Some people, like you say, compartmentalize it. Some people get on narcotics, and we're not talking about prescribed narcotics. We're just
Hmm.
talking about other narcotics to notice, numb the sensation, numb the mental pain, numb the thinking about it.
Right.
But anything, any kind of trauma that you can think about, it's gonna come back sooner or later. So even if you go get drunk today, tomorrow when you sober up, you're gonna think about it. You go get high, off the smoke. When you come down, you're gonna think about it. You know what I'm saying? When you pop a pill, shoot up, whatever you do to numb yourself, when that feeling go away, you're gonna think about it again. Once it's been brought to your attention. But
Right.
like I said, you don't know you got it. Like like, like I had issues since I was 7. I didn't know I had issues until I was 22. All the years in between 7 to 22, I'm thinking I'm just an asshole. I'm thinking it's just my life. This is the way shit keeps falling in my lap. Then I find out I got shit wrong, man. I'm like, damn, that explains this. Man, what the fuck? When I did this. But no, I think I didn't. I don't think I went to the doctor trying to find it for me. I think I went because I was trying to find an answer to some shit I did to somebody else.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Um, do I feel like I've ever had issues where I could have went to therapy about? Absolutely, I do. How did I get over those issues? I think I solved them myself. Um, I'm a question asker, so if I got mama issues, eventually I'm gonna have that conversation with my mama, like I did. If I had daddy issues, I'm gonna talk to pops, like I did. You can say it's the Virgo in me, I, whatever, right? But I know for me, I can't have that on my brain too long. I have to get it off. I have to,
That's
and
fair.
and that's even if I don't ask it, because if I don't ask it, that means I decided to just lig all the way, click off on that particular thing, let it go, and then boom, that's that, right? Is that the correct way to deal with it? No, it is not. But have I had things like that to where I just let it go and never thought about it again? Absolutely. So much so that I can't even remember what it is right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, for real. I mean, but I have had issues in my life to where, you know what I'm saying, going to sit down and talk to somebody would have helped. You know what I'm saying? Like some counseling,
Hmm.
some therapy, or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? But it is what it is. It definitely is what it is.
Well, it's not too late. If you ever want to go get some help, I got a lady that can help you.
I don't think I have any issues.
I'm just
I
saying
mean,
if
we
you
all
do.
do, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
if you do, and you want to get
yeah.
them resolved, I got somebody that can help you.
I don't. I mean, honestly, like the issues that I had in my life, which was mostly stemming from childhood. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Mama, daddy issues, and all this other stuff. I've had those conversations with them. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mama
But
had two conversations.
sometimes all it takes is having a conversation with that person.
Yeah, and me
Because
and
they give
pops
you
had
the
had
answers that you look
conversations.
for. Yeah, they give you the answers that you're looking for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it sometimes it may not be what you want to hear.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to answer though to your questions and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
after I was able to get over those, everything else seemed easy in comparison. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to having those tough conversations with my mama and tough conversations with my dad. Everything else was easy to deal with, easier, right? And once again, it's just in comparison to that. I'm not saying they were easy to get over. I'm just saying because I asked my mama some tough ass questions that I've always wanted to know and I was just afraid to ask until I wasn't afraid no more. Or until the fact that it was eating away at my brain was greater than me being afraid.
That makes sense.
And I had my conversation with pops way before I had a conversation with my mom because
Mm.
my mom and dad divorced at a certain age. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So I looked at him in a certain light. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you weren't here, you weren't around, you weren't, you know what I'm saying? But then once I had the opportunity to talk and figure things out and see what was up and see, I'm like, oh, okay, it makes better sense now. But also, I did have a lot of tough questions for him as well. You
Yeah.
know, so those were the major issues in my life. And other than that, it was, I was able to deal with everything else. And that I try not to make certain things an issue. Like I said, the thing with the gun to my forehead, I can trip out about that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And feel some type of way about that, but I don't. I chose not to. I chose not to.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
is what it is because, especially back at that time, I just understood that police are assholes. That's what I chalked it up to. Police are
Mm.
assholes. They jerks. Boom, done deal. You know what I'm talking about? And
I
once
guess
again,
that's
I'm
what I
not
did
saying that
with my police trauma.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that the way that I dealt with it was the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like because I don't think it was, but I just kind of dealt with it and just let it go, and it never became an issue for me. You know what I'm saying? After a certain age.
Hmm. Now that you mentioned police, I'm thinking all the time they beat me up or drop me off in the wrong hood or beat me up here. Huh. Well,
Hmm.
it'll make you do something to
Yeah.
one of theirs.
Allegedly. Talk with them and they actually acknowledge your feelings. That's key right there. That's major. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
you have you have to force them to do that. That's why I said I had multiple conversations with my mom. Because maybe the first one, you know what I'm saying, or one of the earlier ones I can remember, it was all denial. Denial, denial, you know what I'm saying? Until I was like, hey, look, how about you don't say anything and I'll just talk. I just need to say it. I need to get it off my chest. I need you to know what I'm thinking and blah blah blah. And once
Right.
I did that, yeah, a whole lot of the doors started opening because now I'm not asking for you to have a conversation with me. I'm not asking you to do that
Right.
because we tried that and it didn't work. Now I just need you to
Right.
hear me out, plain and
Yeah.
simple. You don't have to respond. You don't have to say anything, but just hear me out. And once I got to going, you know what I'm saying, and you hit on key things, you hit on 2, 3, 4 points, that's gonna make a person open up and start talking to you, whether they want
Yeah.
to or not. You're hitting on too many key points. And
Yeah.
that's what happened. Me and Pops once again, and I just think with it being a male thing, you know what I'm saying, we had our conversation way earlier. Way earlier. You know what I'm saying? But I asked him a lot of tough ass questions too. Dad, I grew up
Right.
hearing this about you. I grew up hearing this about you. I grew up thinking this. Do I have enough? You see, growing up, I was force fed. Some of it was bullshit. Some of it was true.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
until I was able to get those questions out there, they was eating away at my brain, bro. Eating away at my brain. Why you
Misguided
leave?
trauma. Yeah.
Misguided trauma. And I wanted to know why you leave. And I took his response versus my mama response. I put them together, and then I took the commonalities out of it. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand they both gonna tell a story to make themselves look good. But what's the thing that both of them said? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for.
Mhm.
The thing that
Mhm.
both of you guys said. That's what I'm taking away from this.
Gotcha.
But it was enough for me, for said brain. Because
Right.
I wanted to know, bro. So I asked those questions
Yeah.
because I got tired of having the misguided trauma, the
I
daddy issues,
understand.
or the mom. Well, when I was with my mama, I had the daddy issues. When I was with dad, I had mama issues. You see what I'm saying? So I just got
Mhm.
tired of it. I'm like, nah, you know what? It's time for this shit because I'm not growing up like this. You know, but at that point, I was already a certain age. But I'm like, I'm getting this shit off of me. Whatever gonna happen is gonna happen. Whatever is said is gonna be said. But I can say I had this conversation with them, or they know exactly where I stand on
Right.
whatever the situation is, and that
Yeah.
helped me. It helped a
It
whole lot.
helps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it helped, bro, for real. But walking around with misguided trauma is not good. We see where it lead. We see people walking around the streets talking to themselves. We see that, or they on drugs. They ain't seen their kids in 10 years. All because the misguided trauma made them a non-functioning adult in whatever capacity. Whatever capacity.
Yeah.
Drunk,
That's true.
druggy, absentee mama, daddy,
Mhm.
family on the other side of town, like we said on the other podcast.
Hmm. That was funny.
I'm just saying,
Family
like,
around the corner.
right, right,
I mean, but
so
like in that conversation, I realized three things. One, podcasts have a lot of the same talking points. Two, uh, some things people just, I ain't gonna say they just say, but it don't always it ain't always that easy. And the things that our ancestors did, our grandparents and beyond or before, they lived a totally different life than what we live. Like their life might have been more difficult on a person to person aspect, and our lives are just we so full of gadgets and things that make life easier that life is so difficult. Because I was looking at um, a video somebody sent me, and this girl said she quit her job because working a full time a full time job was stressing her out, and she couldn't take care of herself. She realized it was a problem when she ain't had a shower in 3 weeks because she worked. And I don't know what kind of work she did, but to not take a shower in 3 weeks, that's crazy. That's asinine. Like I don't know what kind of job would stop you from doing that. Like I don't know what kind of shift you got to work that fucking you don't take a shower for 3 weeks. Hmm.
that's a long time.
That's a long. Ain't you a woman? Mm. Hmm. But
Yeah, yeah.
some people go through shit. Some everybody's not a functioning adult, like you just said. Some people got shit that they can't function right. And I mean, you can't knock it because you can't say it's not real because that's them. That's what they're going through. As
Right,
crazy as it sounds to us, that's what they're going through. You know, my my therapist that I go see now, he says that I car, car
compartmentalize.
compartmentalize a lot of my trauma and my illnesses. So he like, I can see this illness, but I think this illness is the cause of all the rest of them. Whereas before they said you this, it was just like a list. They just check, 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 check. Well, he said I compartmentalize a lot of that, and I hide it well. And no matter how bad something going on with me, I hide it real well. So, mm,
About it
mhm.
and feel like You know what I'm saying? Did it really apply? Is that what you really doing? Do you feel like you hide it well, or you know what I'm saying? Did he hit
I
on
mean,
some, or did he not hit on some?
I think, I think subconsciously I hide it, but I think more than it over, I just like you say, I take it out of my mind. You know, like it's a
Hmm.
lot of shit I just choose not ever to think about. And then when I do think about it, I shut myself up and I think about something else. Cause I know I can't say how I feel about everything to everybody. Because some people will construe the things I say how they heard it, not how I meant it. So
Absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. So y'all, if y'all just now tuning in, which I hope not,
mm,
we're talking about misguided traumas. You know what I'm saying? Or trauma, misguided trauma, um, and the role that it plays in your life and how you grow up or how people grow up. You
right,
know, um, how do they deal with it?
right.
Therapy, friends, family, talking to people, talking to themselves, like whatever the case may be. Misguided trauma is real. It's rampant. Not only in our community but in all communities, because
Hmm.
everybody has misguided trauma. Everybody, everybody, every
Yep.
community. Definitely, I mean when I say everybody, I mean every community, not just our community. You know,
Yep.
um, she probably did the hooker bath though. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Okay,
When I said old girl
hooker.
said she didn't take a shower for 3 weeks.
Oh
She probably did a
yeah,
bird bath. That's what she
yeah.
meant, bird bath.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is crazy. It's crazy that somebody ain't took a shower in 3 weeks or a bath in 3 weeks. Like
All because of a job.
all because of a job. Like
Not
that's
because she was stressed out. She said when she first gets a job, she overperforms. She said after doing the same thing repetitively, it gets tiresome. She starts slowing down her rhythm. And then she's like, I start getting stressed out, worried about whether I'm gonna keep the job, lose the job. And it just had her so stressed out that she couldn't take a shower for 3 weeks.
there's no way. There is no way. Now, I would say that's stress, or did she slip into depression? Because
That do sound like depression.
and see, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be, and sometimes I still am, quick to I ain't gonna say judge, but quick to speak on stuff like that. But like, that's something wrong with that person crazy, and I can't do that. I can't be quick to say stuff like that because bouts of depression are real. You know what I'm saying? Insomnia is real. All those
Right.
things like that, it's real.
Hmm.
To
Yeah.
where if you hear about somebody being up for 3 4 days straight, and then I jump in there, man, ain't no way. All they got to do is go drink some more, and it's like, dude, no, this really happened to people. Like some
But
people really have bouts of amnesia.
if you suffer from insomnia, you can go you have temporary
And that's
bouts
what I
of
meant,
insanity.
insomnia.
If you
Say it
have
again.
temporary bouts of insanity, because
Hmm.
anytime you go 72 hours without sleep, your brain doesn't function properly.
Right.
So you borderline more or less into in insanity zones because you're insomnia than you would if you were just stressed out.
And that's crazy. Wow. For
Yep.
real. Um. Well, y'all, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Um. If y'all have anything that y'all would like to talk about, be sure to hit us in the DMs. You know what I'm saying? Let us know the topic. We'll bring you on the screen if you want to. We didn't have to call in tonight, but
Number
we'll have it
tonight.
next
Yeah.
time on Wednesday.
We'll have it on Wednesday. Yeah.
Um, I never heard it called a bird bath. My aunt always called it a hooker bath. We called it 304 bath,
We call it a bird bath.
but we ain't say 304. You know what I'm saying? We would say you
Yeah,
taking the whole bath.
they have called it that before. Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
take a whole bath, and that's hitting the hot spots. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? And
Do you
yeah.
know why they call them
So
304s?
yeah, because that's the numbers on the keypad.
Right. But Well, yes and no, but I was thinking like when you had a pager, right? If you type in
Yeah,
304 in a pager, you turn it upside down, that's what it spelled.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's the code for it. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's it. That's where it came from. Uh huh.
Oh boy,
Uh
that's
huh.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But y'all, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We
Hey,
get once again big shout out to the SIP podcast.
big shout out. Um, Anybody who haven't seen it, behind said is a clip from the video. The video is up and live right now on Dysfunctional's page, my page. Just this. I changed it from Just Ken. It's just this now. Go on the page, watch the video, share the video, promote the video. We doing big things this year with the music. I'm your host,
Absolutely.
Just This, Dysfunctional's World.
And I'm your boy said, aka Mr. Let's Talk. We out of time. Till the next time.
Screaming, let's talk. Peace.
Peace.